This conference will now be recorded.
So thank you all for joining. This is our day one. We'll be discussing more today on what approaches we have. Like I mentioned, what is SAP, what is ERP, all those things. I'll share you one document where you can just read it by yourself. Okay, because that is very basic and whatever is
Hey, hi everyone. Am I audible, Atul here?
yeah, Atul, you are audible.
Okay. Hi everyone. Good morning.
Morning. You can go on mute. Okay. Fine. So I was discussing about from the implementation, from the support point of view, as a functional guy, what is my roles and responsibilities? How do I start if I am into a new project? Okay, what are different approaches I need to understand? Different terminologies from SAP point of view, because if you say that you have worked on implementation projects, you should be having those terminologies familiar with you. Okay, what is TR, what is other things, which in short they will tell you, and we may miss those, okay, because we do not have exposure to real life. So we'll try to learn all of those things. So this is my very first slide. I'll put it in presentation mode. Okay, I hope everyone can see. So this is the old version I'm talking about right now. What is SAP ECC and how it was implemented in the past, because this sessions will be completely on S4HANA along with Fiori's. What are the new changes? We'll discuss all those things. Okay. So when we used to use SAP ECC, which is the older version, still many guys are still using, many companies are still on the older version. So we should have knowledge on ECC as well. Okay. So in the past, we used to have ASAP methodology. Okay. So whenever this SAP ECC was implemented in the past, we used to use this methodology, okay, which is called ASAP. And ASAP methodology will have different uh, this project preparation, business blueprinting, realization, final preparation, and go live and support. Okay, so these are different phases which I used to go, and then I used to implement my SAP ECC. Okay, let me see if I can bring my pointer. Yes. And this is my timeline which I have written on the top. Okay, so these are some tentative timelines. It could be more than that, it could be also lesser than that. So what exactly, uh, as a functional guy, where do we fit in these phases is something which we need to understand from SAP ECC point of view and from SAP S4HANA point of view. Okay, so the very first phase was project preparation. Here what will happen, companies will purchase the licenses. They will have to purchase the license from SAP as a product. Okay, they'll have to buy some hardwares as in laptop, servers, all those things, and then they will set up the environment. So here they will start setting up exactly what I need to implement, how I need to implement, and what time do I need to take, and what will be my team who will be implementing all those things. So this will be very high level discussion. We as a functional consultant may or may not be involved in this. Only team leaders, managers, senior managers, okay, stakeholders, all those people will be involved in this. Okay, the last step, you may get an invite that we are going to start the project, so everyone will be available in that part. Okay, if this is happening somewhere on site, again we may not be part of this. If it is happening virtually, we can be. Okay, so after setting up the environment, they will start looking for the project team. So there, the resource manager will go ahead and see all of your CVs. Okay, if you are on bench, not tagged to any project, they will go and see if you have the necessary skills and knowledge that is required for a project. Okay, they will approach you. You may not have an interview. Okay, if you're very old in the system and client does not restrict on saying that, okay, I will take a one internal interview, and then only he can or she can be onboarded to my project. So like that, project team will be built. Okay. Establish work site. So here, how much strength will be onshore, how much strength will be offshore, okay, on-site, off-site, those things will be decided. And then there will be first cut of a project plan which will be decided, and it will be hard coded, or it can be like passed on to everyone, that this is something that we are going to follow in upcoming weeks and upcoming months. So there will be some project plan which will be shared to everyone. Okay, after freezing the requirements, so not requirements will be here, the sales team. Okay, so before you get any project, there is again a sales team who is pitching and saying that we can give you this implementation project and so prices, we will implement this functionalities, and based on that you win some project, and then this thing happens. Okay, so based on that bidding, you will have some project plan that customer agreed on this, and we are going to implement this, and there could be deviations later on. Okay, so customer can add something, or we can also remove something based upon the requirements, and then everything will be done, and then kickoff meeting will happen, right? Like I mentioned, you can or you cannot be part of this, you may or you may not be part of that. After this is done, then you have this business blueprinting phase. Okay, so this business blueprinting phase is something which is important for a functional consultant, because here you need to understand the business requirements. Okay, here again, we may not be part of it. Okay, if you're part of it, you will be attending the workshops. Okay, you will be going to the client place, or you will be having one-to-one Zoom meeting or Teams meeting, and then there will be discussion as in what do you want to implement. Okay, we will understand what is your business process. So the business owners or the super users or end users, okay, process owners from client side, they will inform us, or they will discuss with us, this is how we manufacture a car right now. Okay, these are my pain points and these are my challenges. How can you fix it, or how can you remove those challenges, or how can you give me better opportunity with SAP? Okay, so after we get the pain points, after we get the challenges, we need to start mapping those things into a high level design. Okay, you understood the process, and you have to map conceptually to SAP. Not everything will come directly to SAP standard. You may have to do some enhancements, customizations, right? SAP does give you a lot of customization options, which helps the client to achieve their requirements, which may not be part of other ERP packages which they are using currently. That's why they are implementing SAP now. So high level design for the interface, conversion, and reporting needs to be done. So this comes into your RISE-F-W documents. Okay, so what is a RISE-F-W document? I'll tell you a little bit later. So everything which is implemented, okay, has to be divided into RISE-F. So R stands for report, I stands for interface, C stands for conversion, RIC, E stands for enhancements, F stands for forms. Okay, there could be forms that you need to print, and W stands for workflow,
Workflows.
right? So you need to map everything according to RISE-F. That this is my enhancement, it will go to the E. So those things will be part of consultants. Okay, the guidance will be given to you by your leaders or your senior managers or managers, and you need to divide and start preparing those RISE-F-W documents, where you need to write what functional specs, right? We'll decide, or we'll discuss about the functional specs, a couple of them in our training. How do we write, what exactly we write, and how do we map different fields, tables, and all those things, and I'll give you that template as well. Okay, and then investigate and streamline the business process. So after you have done these two, then you will start doing some sandbox activity. Okay, then you will try to do some configuration in your sandbox, and then if you see if I can map it in standard or do I need to do some enhancement again, here you will decide, but again you will investigate here. Okay, and then after your investigation you will come up with fit and gap analysis, perform gap analysis and finalize the project scope, right? So what is fit, what is gap? Fit is something that is coming directly into my standard. So some business process they are saying I need to confirm my operations and I need to confirm everything, the all preceding operations with my last operation. If I confirm my last operation, everything should be confirmed. So this is a very fit requirement. I can do it in standard SAP. I do not have to enhance anything for that. Okay. So if there is something that I cannot do in standard, that will be a gap for me, that this does not fit. I need to do some customization. Okay. Here you will do a fit and gap analysis, and then you finalize the scope that I'm going to do this configuration. This will be achievable by fit requirement, and this will go to the ABAPers, for which we need to create some RISE-FW documents, and then this is my scope. This is under my scope. Anything comes later on from client, that will be out of scope or has to be involved in the scope after discussing with some high level management, okay, owners or stakeholders, because they, when you decide this, the payment will be also decided on that. Okay, how much I'm going to charge my customer, this is how much I need, this is how many consultants I would need. Okay, and then you will be giving some, or not us as a consultant, the stakeholders or the principal consultants, partners, those will be bidding again that okay, this is something we agreed on, but your scope is little high, we may charge you a little bit more. Okay, or your scope is less, we may charge you this much only what we agreed on. So the charging and all is not part of consultant headache. Our headache starts from here. Okay, so what is a realization phase? Here you need to start a baseline system configuration. Okay, so this word baseline configuration can be sometime part of your interview as well. So they will ask you, are you aware of different phases in the ASAP methodology? If you say yes, then they will say, for from which phase did you join that particular implementation project? Okay, so here, if you are not part of this, if you are not part of this, then definitely we will be part of realization. Okay, because here our job starts. We need to start the system configuration. So whatever we are going to do in my training starts from realization phase. Okay, here I'm going to give you some business requirements, and for that we need to start the baseline, and this will be more of a fit. We are not doing any gap analysis in my training. The discussion which will happen for the functional spec will be of a gap. Okay, but not everything gap we can discuss, because we do not have a ABAPer right now. Okay, and we are not doing a real-time project. Here we are doing a dummy project that we need to execute. So yes, so 70 to 80% of configuration you will do here. You will validate your configuration. You will start doing some knowledge transfer, okay, to the key users or the business owners. And then you will start creating some user manuals, which is also known as standard operating procedures, which I'll also share it to you. Okay, and start coding on the conversion and interference. This is your gap part where you will give the functional spec. This unit testing is completely owned by the functional consultants. Okay, every module guy will do a unit test. So there are two type of tests. One is unit test, one is integration test. Okay, so what is a unit test? Unit test is something that I will look into my module, as in PP, if I can run MRP or not, if I can get plan orders after MRP or not? And after having plan orders, can I convert into production orders or not? Can I go ahead and do my confirmation or not? So my complete process. I will not be bothered about my costing. I will not be bothered about my raw materials are available or not. I will not be bothered if my sales order is available or not. Okay. So in the case of MTO only, we need to have a sales order, else we will not. And then that is called a unit testing. And then there will be system integration testing, which is called as SIT in real world. So they will ask you, have you started with SITs? That means system integration testing, where all the modules will come and start doing end-to-end execution. Okay, so here we are going to do SITs. In my training, we are going to do SITs because we will start off with uh, giving the demand, we will run MRP, we will procure the materials. So task also we are going to do. So you're getting integration knowledge, as in how do you convert a, how do you get a purchase acquisition, what is a PO, purchase order, how do you convert your PO, and all those things. And then we will also learn about how the sales order is created for MTO scenarios. So you will get complete picture on SIT, okay, in this particular training. So this is what, after unit testing, you will do integration testing. Okay, so this is a very important phase in a functional consultant's life. So if you say that you have done implementation project in your resumes, then we should be aware of this realization phase, because they will ask you what exactly you do in realization phase. Okay, so we start off with some baseline configuration, we validate the configuration, we do knowledge transfers, we create some SOPs, and we start doing the RICEFW documents and unit test and integration test. Okay, then comes the final preparation. So in the final preparation, you will see the setup production equipment like printers and all those things. If there is any RF scanner gun you need, so you will start procuring all those things, because here you can do those things manually. Okay, but here you need to test everything, if printer is getting sending a print or not. Okay, if you are able to scan something or not, if barcode printer is printing or not. If those things are not available, you cannot do a go live. Okay, so this is, again, we are not going to do. This will be activity of a basis guy or the network guy to set up the equipments. We as a functional consultant, we will only trigger the prints. Okay, we will not do any system equipment setup. Perform the volume and stress testing. So this will be again done by the some ABAP team. No, we will not do the coding. We will do the configuration only, which I was mentioning in the group. So yeah, we will see all those things. So this thing, again, we are not going to do. Prepare the cutover plan. Yes, this either can be done by you or it can be done by your senior guy. Okay, it can be your manager or your team lead. So what is a cutover plan, that we will understand when we are doing some configuration. Okay, this is a very important activity. So convert the legacy data. So here you will get some data which is from the previous system that customer was using. Okay, now you are moving to SAP S/4HANA or SAP ECC. So you need to convert that data so that it can be used in SAP. So what will be the conversion factors? We don't have to sit and do everything. You have to give out some templates to the client. Okay, and you have to say, give me the data for the components, give me the quantity, give me the unit of measure. Those things is conversion of my legacy data. So we do not know what data they are using, right? We will give them the templates and ask them that this is what I need in SAP, give me in my template. And then once you get that template back from the end user or the super users, then you validate that data, if the data given by them is correct or not. And then we will upload those data using in S/4HANA LTMC, Legacy Tool Migration Cockpit. Okay, and the another part is we will have to train all the end users. So this is also called as train the trainer program. Okay, This is a different term, can be used in different companies. So in my last project, it was train the trainer program. So I am the trainer, okay, and I am also training the guy who will be giving training in their company. So it is train the trainer. And then we will go with the last step, which is go live. So once everything is completely tested multiple times, everything you feel is good, okay, then there will be a date already decided when you start this, that okay, on so and so I'm targeting my go live date. It can be little bit here and there based on the testing, or based upon the business challenges, something new comes up, right? Those things, my go live date can go little bit delayed, or it can be also pre-achieved. Sometimes it also happens like that. So during the go live, what you need to do, we cannot do anything in this. We can only support our the client, okay. So we have handed over the system from final preparation phase to the go live phase. Here the system is in now production. Here it is with me in quality servers, okay. So here I cannot do anything. I cannot go into my production server and do with my IDs, okay. So what exactly we can do during go live, if anyone feels any challenges or they are not able to do a business process, then they will raise a ticket, okay. That will be a hypercare for me. So here we are just doing configuration, testing, everything. Here we start giving hypercare. So in the hypercare, everyone has to be available who was part of implementation project 24/7, and it will be by shifts, and there will be one dedicated or two dedicated guys from each module whose phone numbers and emails will be also shared to the client, that if you feel any problem, this will be your first level of support that you need to call him. And then if that person cannot fix it, then you escalate it to the higher management, okay. So during the hyper care support, we get lot of issues, like printer is not printing. That is very common issue, though we have checked up. Sometime it happens, okay. Sometime you may miss some transports. So what is transport, I'll tell you later in upcoming sessions. So you may miss some transport from here to here, and your process is break. You cannot run that particular process. So they will have issues, and then you need to verify if something is missing. You need to send that again, retransport that, okay. So provide support is the same thing, and continuous improvement. So they will get issues, you will try to improve that, and after 1 month of hypercare support or 2 months of hypercare support, you will get either a support project of the implementation you have done, or it can go to some other company, okay. So it is not always that a Deloitte has implemented something will come to Deloitte. It can go to Accenture also. So here the bidding thing happens before winning the project, and again the bidding thing happens for the support project. So if you bid very less, that okay, I have implemented, I know everything, I can support you for this much price, okay. If they are satisfied, they will give you the project. If they are not satisfied, it will go to some other project, and again you will start with again a new fresh implementation project. If you get a support project, you will land up here. So this is my journey of a SAP consultant in short, okay.
So I have one question.
Hmm.
Uh, while if they are asking the interviewer in which phase you are working, you have to tell the in realization stage.
Correct.
Okay, and that on that basis they will ask the question, or they
Correct.
will ask regarding EBP and project preparation also.
No, see, you can easily say with my experience, I was not part of business blueprinting or project preparation phase. Okay, my seniors were there, but I was part of realization phase where they have given me the business requirement. So business blueprinting was also done by my team lead. You can say that. Okay, based upon that business blueprint, I have started my configuration. Okay, or you can say that I was part of business blueprinting document as well, where I was writing down everything. I have mapped my business blueprinting process. It is also called as BPD, business blueprint preparation. Okay, some people will call BPD, some people will call BPP, something like that. Okay, but it is commonly known as business blueprinting document. Okay, there will be also one more document called MDD. So what is MDD? Master data document. So how do you want to design your master data? Everything will come, everything will be coming. Template is a pre-written document where you just fill the data. Okay, so any template can be of anything. It can be in real life also. So when you're creating your resumes, right, you go to any website, they will give you a ready template, and then you change your uh, information there, right? You change the name, you change your designation, you give your profile, what you do in real life. So that is a template in SAP also. So a template can be downloaded from SAP website. Okay, where you just change the data for each client.
Okay. Okay.
Right, so yeah, main important phase for us is realization, where you do most of the things, most of the configuration, and then from configuration and from the business scenarios, you get your questions in the interview. Okay, moving to the next slide. So this was for SAP ECC.
Hi Harsh, I have here one doubt. Means if they ask what is the type of project you are into, means in the SAP, what could we say? Means a support project. You have told like there is support and another one.
So see, what you are writing in your resume will be asked in your interviews. If you are saying support project, I'll tell you what is my support activity. Okay, if you are writing implementation project, they will ask you in implementation questions. What did you do in the configuration? Why did you configure this? Why you did not configure that? Okay, so all those things they will ask you in the implementation. So don't worry, this is just a day one. We have long time. Okay, we have 28 days to finish this course, where by the end of the course you will learn what and why and where we are going to do. Okay, I know this is definitely many questions popping up right now in your head, but eventually it will be all answered. Okay, what is another question? What are the documents needs to
Sorry, sir. I just wanted to clear one doubt, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sir, in every requirement, they will ask you like you need to have one end-to-end implementation. So in this case, our role starts from realization, right? But why do they ask for E to E then?
Why do they ask for?
For end-to-end implementation, like starting from the business preparation, from there we have to start, right? So they will always ask for at least one end-to-end or two end-to-end. So if our role starts from realization, then why are they asking that?
So see, why they're asking it, going mute, the voice is echoing, yeah. So why they're asking is because tomorrow if you are put into end-to-end implementation, do you know the process or not? Okay, can you handle the client or not? So they are trying to invest in you, looking in the future. If I hire this guy, will he be able to take over in coming years the project end-to-end or not? Okay, or will he be only a configurator for me? So that's where they want to evaluate you. But if you say, yes, I have done the end-to-end implementation as well, even that guy may not be part of the business blueprinting phase, okay? Or he may not be part of the project preparation phase. He will anyway start off with realization only. But they just want to understand, are you or have you seen end-to-end or not? Okay, so I can give you the documents, which is your business blueprint document, the master data documents, I think I have business blueprinting. I do have master data. I need to see, but master data is something that we are going to create in each classes. Same thing you need to mention there, and you need to say why this field or why this view is important. Okay, that is called master data, because that's how the end user will understand, or somebody who is working in the support project. Like I mentioned, you implemented, you may not get support project. So all the documents we need to hand over to the support team, even if it is in your same team, like you are from Deloitte, and the support also comes to Deloitte, but support team is different. Okay, we need to hand over all the documents we have created from implementation to the support team, so they will go through that, what you have implemented, and accordingly they can debug things in the future. That's why documents are required.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is my new S4 HANA screen, or we can say new methodology that we are going to use. We have been using this for quite some time. Okay, so how it is different than SAP ASAP, which was used in the previous versions. Okay, so if you notice, my phases names are little bit different, but the background activity still remains the same. Okay, here I got new phase, so this you need to remember. Here I have discover, I have prepare, I have explore, I have realize, deploy, and run, which is nothing but my go live. Okay, so what are the things available here? We have almost similar things, but in a newer package. Okay, we do a discovery, which we have done in the past, that we will do a discovery as in what business wants. Can we map it? Okay, yes, if we can map it, we can do the preparation, as in we can start doing the business blueprinting, business documents creation. We will start mapping up the requirements in my sandbox. Okay, so sandbox will be explore, that I am exploring, can I give him the standard way, or do I need to do some gap? Here you can see fit and standard analysis is available, and scope and configuration will come in my realization phase. Here you have to do the scoping, and then you need to do the configuration, the baseline which we just spoke about. Then you need to do the migrate, and you need to start doing the unit plus SITs. Okay, it can go hand in hand, or it can go one after another. And then you do the deploy, and sorry, you do the onboard and deploy, which is my go live, and then you support. So new things, new package, job is still the same. I am coming from ECC, so I know it is the same. But what is difference? Like, why do I need to migrate? Right? Why do I need to use S4 HANA? There are definitely new things, just like your Windows. Okay, it keeps on upgrading. If someone asks you to use Windows 98 today, will you be able to do it? No, because there are so many things which has improved uh, by the time you're using now Windows 11. Okay, I'm still in Windows 10. I don't know what is available in Windows 11. If I migrate, then I can compare. Okay, and if Windows says that I will stop my Windows 10 by this year end, you have to migrate to Windows 11, then what will be options in my hand? Nothing but to upgrade. That's what SAP has done. They have given a deadline for all the previous this ECC guys, that I will not support you after 2024 or 25. It keeps on increasing. Earlier it was 2022 only, when it was announced the very first time that by 2022 or 23 we will end the support. But again, now it has increased by 1 year, because that is a very challenging environment for everyone to stop their business and get involved into a new implementation project. Okay, that's where we come, and that's where the job openings are coming up, because everyone has to migrate. They cannot use the older version anymore. That's where people or the companies are looking for S4 HANA consultants. That's why we are not getting trained on ACC, we are getting trained on S4 HANA. Okay, that is one thing. why jobs are available right now for S4HANA guys. The second thing is what is new, right? New thing is SAP has seen so many implementation projects across the globe that they have come up with a pre-configured solution. Okay, what is a pre-configured solution? Say for example, my client is from pharmaceutical, or if he is from automobile industry, right? I will go first and start evaluating his business. That SAP has done since so many years. He has seen so many implementation, he has seen so many issues that he has come up with a new technology, or you will say best practice. Okay, there is a term called best practice. You will also see as BP in SAP. So what is the best practice? Best practices is their business process from the standard I'm talking about is a pre-configured. If I implement best practice, all the configurations will be done by default. I do not have to go and do each and every configuration. Okay, so this is where SAP S4HANA is winning as compared to other ERP packages or Oracle or other different vendors we have in the ERP supply. Okay, they have come up with best practice. They are giving the best practice to be implemented, and based on automobile industry, all the configurations will be pre-done with me. So what I will do, will I lose my job? No. Again, I need to validate those configurations which is already predefined or pre-done by SAP. Is it really helping my client? So what I have seen, to an extent, yes, I can do, but I I have John who is working as an MRP controller. That configuration will not come. Okay, because how SAP will know John is there or Max is there or somebody XYZ is there? I still need to do that configuration. Okay, order types are standard, PP01, PP02, PP03 they will give you, but how do I map those things to my current business scenarios? Okay, those things I need to change. The names has to be updated. So those things I still need to do. That's where my consultant job is still available. If everything is pre-configured, SAP companies will directly call SAP and they will just install and they will go. That is still not happening. We have to do everything still, though best practices. Here you can see SAP best practices, guided configuration and agile methodology is available. So this best practice is called as activate, which is giving you the advantage. If it used to take like 8 months or 1 year to implement the previous version, I can do it in next 6 months. Okay, so my time has reduced because all the configurations are available. I'm validating, I'm just changing, and I can start my testing. So it gives me advantage. Okay, so this is where SAP S4HANA is coming in the market.
Is there any question coming from this activate methodology?
Sorry?
Is there any question come from interviewer regarding activate methodology?
They will ask you, do you know or have you worked on activate and how it is different? So that how it is different, I have just answered you that I get my best practices. Okay, so I can download my best practices from the SAP website. That will be, the user logon will be given to you. Not everyone can download just like from Google. You have to have user ID and passwords. Okay, and then you can download the best practices. Based upon the best practices, you are getting your pre-configured solutions, you are getting test scripts, you are getting business processes as well that you can map and you can change accordingly to the client. So you're getting the documents which you used to manually create. Test script also something which we used to manually create, but now SAP is giving you. But again, I have seen that is not very helpful if client is having a lot of customization. Okay, you need to again redo the test script on your own. But yes, to answer the question to the interviewer, we can answer this. Okay, so next slide. Yeah. So I've talked about little bit of transport, right? Transport was missing from one system to another system, and during go live they got issues, right? I need to retransport. So what is a transport? So whenever okay, let me give you first the what is 100, 110, 120, all of these things. So this is my box in SAP. So this is my development box. This is a development box for the technical guy. This is for functional, this is for technical. Here you have mentioned, we can also say as client, but we also call it as a box. Okay, dev box, configuration box, test box, quality box, or we can say client as well, according to the terms that company is using. So any configuration we are going to do will be done in my golden client called as 100. Okay, golden client 110 can be of technical guy. Sometimes this is not available in most of the clients, but in my project, this is from my project, they had different clients for functional and for technical, but it can be only one box for functional and for technical both, 100. Okay, then after you have configured, you need to test, right? In the configuration client, I do not have a test data. Okay, so what I will do, I will move my transport, I will copy the changes to 120 client. Okay, client numbers can be different, but I will move to my sandbox. I can say like that. Once I have moved to my sandbox, here I have master data, and sandbox is called as a playground for a functional consultant. Why it is called a playground? Because I can do many changes. I can create n number of test data. I can do testing until unless I'm satisfied with my result, what exactly business wants. Okay, so I can delete data, I can recreate data. So this is called a playground, which is not impacting other clients or other systems. Okay, once I'm satisfied here, I will copy the data of my configuration, not from here to here, but again from here to here, because everything configuration is stored here. You cannot move from here to here. You have to move from dev client to your quality client. This is called my quality client. And quality client, if you notice, 9 numbers are same. That means it is a replica of my production. So whatever I should have in quality should be also available in my production, and vice versa. Okay, so why vice versa? Tomorrow, if I have only 100 items in my quality during implementation, 100 items are copied here. During production, every day they are creating more 10 items, 10 materials, 10 new production orders. So after 6 months, they have to do a refresh. They have to copy this data and put it back to the quality. Because tomorrow, if you get a new issue, which is from existing data, how do you test? Then a refresh or a copy has to be done into your quality box. So you have the same data. You will do the testing on that particular data again. So those things are part of my support activity. Copying of data is not PP activity. It is copy of a basis team or a security team or whatever team. But testing is something which is our activity or any module's activity. Okay. So we will do the configuration here. We will move to the sandbox and then move to the quality. Once you're satisfied, you are moving the changes to the production. Here we can do individually. Here we cannot. If you see, there is a bridge. I cannot move anything on my own to the production. I need to have approvals. I need to contact my seniors. Okay. I need to give this transports to the basis team, and then only basis team can move it to the production. Okay. Once it is approved from the business owners as well, they will also test here and they say okay, and then only it will be allowed to be moved. So this is my transport system. This is how we do it in my real life during implementation projects. If this is your support project, yeah.
But how the production server, whatever we have, or all data is available, because we whatever we are testing in 200 in quality server, so that data, same data available in production, how we know that? Means suppose the 100 files is there, I am giving the example. So same 100 files is available in production. How we know that? Because
We have to
production we don't have.
validate. No. You have access, but display access.
Okay.
You have display access. You do not have change access. Okay. So you can always see the data, but you cannot do any changes. That's what I told you during go live. You cannot do anything on your own. You can guide them. You can see the data. Okay. If he is saying that I'm not able to create an order, you cannot replicate why you cannot create an order. You have to do a screen share, because you cannot do a execution, but you can see the data.
In development
So when,
center, we cannot do any change, correct?
sorry, can you repeat?
In development client, we are not doing any testing. We just developing, correct? No?
Correct.
So there
We are
is no
just
option to
configuring,
test the particular things.
right? Because development data will not have your master data, so you cannot test. So there are two types of data. One is master data, one is transactional data. Okay. So master data, I cannot, not audible. Okay. So Abhishek, log off and log in, or can you just type to him? Okay, so in the 100 client, I will not have master data, and I can, if I do not have master data, I cannot do transactional data. So what is master data? Master data is creating of a material, creating of a BOM, routing, production version from PV point of view. This is master data for me. If I'm creating a production order, if I'm running MRP, I'm getting a plan order, these are what? These are my transactional data. So one is master data, one is transactional data. If you have master data, then only you can create transactional data. That is not available here. It can be only available from your sandbox, from your quality, and in production. Again, production, we cannot do anything. We can do only here.
But
Okay.
without master data, how we can do the development?
Development is your configuration.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
Right. So you're configuring system, you're creating order types, you're creating supervisor. You do not need master data for that. For
Okay.
testing, if you created something is right or wrong, you need master data. Okay.
Okay.
So we will move to the next slide. This is from my project. Okay. So what exactly business processes are there, which may not be same to all the clients. Okay. Just for your understanding, I have given this. So manufacturing and package the product is my territory, and there are different modules as well. So for here, what I'm doing, I'm going to create a BOM. Okay. I'm going to schedule the in-house production. I'm going to execute my in-house production. I will do the control, which is like printing or something. And then I also have a subcontracting process. So after doing everything, I will get one product. Okay. Or I can do a subcontracting and I can get a one product. So this is how you have to, not us exactly, but your high level guys, okay, your manufacturing team leads or supervisors will help you to give you this particular slides. Okay, they will map as in what has to be done at what level. Okay, not everyone will do it, but most of them, they will do it. So here you can see on the top, you have mentioned in scope, out of scope, SAP process, partially SAP process, process not in SAP. So there are different color codes for each of them. So if something is not in SAP, then it might be happening in out of SAP, like MES system, or they have their own system where they are doing something. Okay, partially in SAP, that means you can do partially in SAP and partially maybe outside somewhere. So there could be multiple systems which are merged with SAP. Okay, those are called integrations. Sorry, interfaces, not integration. Those are called interfaces. Okay, so we'll continue this. Let me come out of this. So similarly, there are different L2, L4 processes which may not be used everywhere. Okay, but like I mentioned, this is from my project which I have using for the slides. Okay, so what will happen in the execute? So you will start doing the check, you will release, you will do the batch management. Okay, so steps will be involved, what you are going to do, and this will be also part of your test scripts. Okay, so once you have done this, understood how do we start my SAP implementation project, right? What are the different steps involved? Then you need to go ahead with the configuration of the system. Okay, so how do we log into the SAP system? I will give you the access first of all by EOD. So you have to go to your search. Here you need to type your remote desktop. Open this. I will give you the computer name. You will enter it here. Click on continue, and then give your user ID password, which will be shared to you. Okay. So once you come to this particular screen, you will have a SAP logon pad, and this data will not be there. This I will give you. You can copy into your desktops. Okay, or let me save it into some C drive where you can access it. Okay, this will be your screen where you can log into SAP. Again, username password will be shared to you. Your access, and you will get one menu. This is my menu for the accessing or execution. So how do I do configuration? I will go to SPRO/N is for a new screen. SPRO. Click on reference IMG. This I'll take it tomorrow. I'm just showing you right now. And then we'll start off with the enterprise structure first. Okay. So I need to understand what is my company code. Okay. Who is my client? So here we will understand those things. So define a company. So we are not going to define, but we already have a 1710 which we are going to use. We'll understand why do we need and what are the different steps we need to start off with. So enterprise structure, controlling, sales, this is not part of PP. When you're doing in a realization phase, which we just spoke about, you will not do anything on the top, but here you will start from production. Okay, this is my production activity. We'll start off from here in my real-time project. But to understand what is the scenes behind, then I need to understand from here. Okay, so we'll learn about that. Yes. Okay, so ASAP was there, Agile was there, Waterfall was there. So these are common strategies anyone can use. This is not very dedicated to SAP. ASAP is something for SAP. Waterfall, Agile is can be used by other non-SAP guys as well. Okay, so Suvarna, you may be understanding that, right? Agile you might have followed when you were doing some testing projects.
Yes, yes, yeah, we follow.
Right.
Yeah, I know agile
Correct. So
model. Yeah.
you have sprints, you break down your task in sprints. Similar to that, we also can use Agile in SAP.
Okay.
So I'll stop the recording. We'll take the questions now. I know there